Warriors, welcome. Your questions matter. You're listening to the Ask the Anxiety Guy show.
This podcast episode is brought to you by the End the Anxiety program, a downloadable CBT-based program created by the anxiety guy himself to help heal your emotional distress and put anxiety behind you once and for all. Visit www.anxietyexit.com to learn more today.
Warriors, welcome to the hashtag Ask the Anxiety Guy show. I'm Dennis Simsek. This is podcast number 136. Robin cannot be with us today. Robin is at a silent retreat for the week. Hope you're having fun, Robin. And today, I'm answering a couple of really crucial questions. And usually I pick these questions on Facebook, on the YouTube community, on Instagram, on Twitter. I pick up these questions based on how many times they've been asked lately, as well as the likes that they get and all that sort of stuff. So a couple of popular questions here. Hope I can provide some value for the warriors out there. And as I mentioned, Robin's at a silent retreat. I'm wondering if you guys can pull off a silent retreat. Could you do it? Could you wake up in the morning and have your tea followed by a meditation, and then have your lunch followed by a meditation, and then have another tea followed by a meditation, and then not be able to look at anyone in the eyes and not say a word for an entire week? Could you pull it off? I'm asking myself if I can, and I'm saying, yeah, I could probably pull it off. And you know, I don't really toot my own horn too much, my friends, but I posted something on Instagram last week that got a really good response from people. I feel like there was a couple of really deep realizations that were created, and I want to read it to you so that you understand what's going on with your anxiety right now. It goes like this. When a certain experience triggers an emotional reaction such as fear, the memory will get stored not only in the mind, but in the body as well. This cellular memory lives on, and anything that reminds the body of the event will trigger the same emotional reaction. That is, until we can prove to the body that the event is over. The body actually believes that the event is not over. When the body begins speaking in a language that spurs on sensations, it's our job to create enough self-awareness to know that it's related to memory and not become flustered by the moment. It's in those moments that shifting our thinking and behaviors alters the memory. If we run, fight, push it away, freeze, we're only confirming the threat. This is key. I mean, this is everything. And as you understand what you're going through at a deeper level, you'll be able to be more conscious and rational and logical in the moments where fear appears. Send a couple shout-outs today, first of all. Shout-outs to the Facebook tribe members. Rich Lomas, you, my friend, have immense amounts of energy and inspiration. I love you, man. Shout out to Coralie Gill. Thank you so much for your engagement on the Facebook tribe. Shout outs to the Instagram tribe, Julie, Urbase, and Reddit. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Now let's get into our first question. Question number 1 comes from the Facebook tribe member, Helen Sumner. Helen asks, how can you keep, and this is a great question, how can you keep from passing anxiety on to your kids? All right, so this question resonated with me so much because I found that when I was really in hell going through anxiety, I realized, man, how am I going to do this? Not only for me, but what if I pass it on? What if I pass on my ways of thinking, what I believe, my actions, that sort of thing, to my kid? Can you imagine me having to live with that in the back of my mind every single day? I didn't want that to happen. So Helen, first off, I am grateful that you asked this question. Thank you so much. And I've got a couple of things to say about it. Number one is that we have to understand a certain amount of cellular memory will get passed on to your kids. All right, we just have to accept that. We have to understand that. Secondly, the best thing you can do is tackle the root causes of your own anxiety, because the kids are learning by what you do much more than what you say. You could say, hey, child, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm okay. You could go that route, and you know what? The kid will look at you and go, Mom, you don't look okay, and you're not acting okay, and they will be able to sense what's really going on. So what you truly want to do, the best thing you could do, is work on you, because they are unconsciously always picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, I said that. Thirdly, I would get them to practice simple, just really simple practical skills such as pausing and looking at the experience from a broad perspective, not just through their own feelings. So every single time the child reacts in a way that might make the next experience as anxious or angry for them, they catch themselves. And what you want to do is you want to put an elastic band on the child's wrist so that they understand that when they snap that elastic band, they are catching themselves in the moment. They are being less reactive and more responsive. And you know what? Kids like the elastic band. Get them something that looks pretty cool, their favorite colors, maybe some designs on it, whatever it is. And get them to practice simply pausing in that moment, snapping the elastic band, and then recognizing what's truly going on around them. Saying, you know what? Wow, I didn't really look at this situation from mommy's perspective or daddy's perspective or my brothers or sisters or whatever it is. And I can then in time bypass this emotional reaction. This is where we want the kid to go. So this goes out to Helen as well as anybody else out there that are going to have kids or have kids right now. Very simple, practical skills. And you want to make it as if it's a game. You always want to make it a game. So if you snap 5 times throughout the day and you actually catch yourself and you become more broadened in the way you see the situation, great. You get a treat. At the end of the day, you get to massage mommy's shoulders. Good for you. Just kidding. The second question came from the YouTube tribe. Let's get into it. The question is one that gets asked a lot, and I didn't want to just bypass this question and say, hey, just go and listen to another video. I wanted to tackle it head on. It's by Michael Ornelas, and he asks, Dennis, how do I get over my fear of the physical symptoms of anxiety? So isn't this basically the majority of what is going on in our listeners' lives right now? It's the fear of the sensations and the symptoms. And I've got so many different videos and podcasts based around this. But again, I want to tackle this head on so we get a better understanding. Firstly, before the whole fear thing, why are the physical symptoms happening? Why are they happening? Let's start there, okay? Is it repressed emotion, Michael, or any other warrior? Is it based on catastrophic thinking? Is it based on gut health? Is it based on allergic reactions to foods? I mean, why are you experiencing these symptoms of anxiety, first of all? Why are they showing up? Instead of waiting for the time that they do show up and go into band-aids and coping methods, let's get to the root cause so that you don't have to deal with this anymore. So many people today have this vocabulary that they carry around. It's based on managing and coping. I remember my therapist said, Dennis, you're going to have to cope and manage this for the rest of your life. I said, you know what? You're fired. You're fired. I don't care how severe anything is. Okay? I know what there is to know about spontaneous remissions and how people overcome cancer within a couple days and walk out the hospital when they said, you'll never be able to walk again and such. I believe in those things. And I believe there's a system within us that if we can access that system, that unconscious system, and speak to it in a way that it understands, miracles will show up in our lives. So, firstly, why are the physical symptoms happening? Secondly, the way you get over the fear of the symptoms is to trust in your body's ability to deal with them. You have to have trust. Right now, you have no trust. So you feel like consciously you've got to do all these different things, maybe run from the event or not even go to a certain place because it might show up and such. And see them, as in the symptoms, as a practice opportunity, Michael. These are practice opportunities, okay? Rather than possibly leading to a catastrophic ending. The body will heal when the mind and the heart are congruently working together via thoughts and emotions. Let me say that again. You ready? The body will heal when the mind and the heart are congruently working together via thoughts and emotions. This is when the body begins to heal. All right? So let's take these suggestions and begin overcoming this feeling that we're under right now. Third question by Molly Weeks. Molly Weeks asks, Dennis, what are the top 3 natural herbal supplements everyone who suffers with anxiety should have in hand if they're not taking prescription medications? So Dennis is not a doctor. Dennis is not a naturopath. Dennis is not a holistic nutritionist. But Dennis does know what works for a lot of people that he's currently working with and what worked in his own life. So these are based around what I feel has worked and my own personal research. So first one is B complex, Molly. B complex. Absolutely essential for every anxiety sufferer out there. Why? Because it helps to reduce anxious and depressed feelings in high stressful environments. And it's great against any external stimuli. So you're going to find that you gain yourself in the moments of fear and catastrophic thinking and what might happen. You come to your senses, so to speak, quicker when you have B complex within you, but they are water soluble. So make sure that you're taking them in the morning and at nighttime. The second one is magnesium. Crucial for sleep, because sleep is what aids the adrenal glands to recover. And without it, we run into adrenal fatigue and further impulsiveness during the day. So magnesium was a very big contributor to my own recovery. So that would be my number 2. Number 3 would be zinc. Deficiency in zinc actually will induce depression and anxiety. Zinc is actually massive for becoming resilient, and I consider it to actually be an antidepressant on its own. I said it. Zinc is an antidepressant on its own. It works incredibly well. So I hope I've answered some of those questions in detail today, warriors. It's very, very important that I get you to understand what's truly going on here with your anxiety. Because you can't master something until you fully understand it. You have to understand your anxiety before you go and start doing skills and techniques and this and that to be able to create that change. So that's the goal from this. I missed Robin in today's episode. I bet you guys did as well. And the question of the week, if you're listening to this on YouTube, comment below and let me know your answer to this question of the week. It goes, what do you feel is the root cause of your anxiety? And what do you plan on doing about it for the next 3 months based around what you're gaining from the Anxiety Guy content that you're consuming? And I want to leave you with something inspirational that you can take towards the weekend here. You ready? Stop allowing yourself to be so fragile and start seeing the traits that you own that make you worthy of this positive change. Where is your focus going? I love you all so much. You are more than anxiety. If you want to learn more about the #1 CBT-based program for anxiety today, head on over to anxietyexit.com. Love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. You deserve it. Warriors, remember, you are more than anxiety. You keep asking the questions, and I'll keep answering them.